When it comes to anything in life, good habits are the things that are going to get us through successfully. They're going to help us reach our goals, to develop personally, professionally, and we will feel fulfilled, right? The same as with homeschooling. There really needs to be some good habits that are going to help you to be successful. You can't just throw all your ideas up in the air and hope that the best ones will land on the target that you placed on the ground. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life, and thank you so much for joining me today as I want to look at the 5 habits of highly successful homeschoolers. What are these habits? Are they truly important to have? Habits are good. Good habits are good to have. Look, my girls, they will constantly remind me of my bad habits. Oh, mommy, you're biting your fingernails. Or, oh, mommy, you're stressed and you're saying bad words. They are not the things that I want to be growing and developing. And, but there are things that I do want to grow and develop. And some of these habits might actually not come naturally to you. They don't come naturally to me. And that is okay. We just, we try it and then we learn something else and we try that and we tweak that and soon we're going to get there. And part of learning is by coming and looking and going, oh, successful habits of homeschoolers. Thank you for watching this video, for getting here and joining me as we look at this. And I do just want to thank you so much for all of your likes and your subscribes and your comments and just being part of this learning life. So I want to look at 5 good habits. Are there more? Of course there are, but these ones, I really feel like these just hit the top of what's really going to help us all to be successful homeschoolers. Establishing a routine. Having a routine is usually that first one to develop. Now, I'm not talking about this specific structure where you've outlined every hour of every day, unless that is something that you want or need or desire. Some people love structure. I love structure, but not when it comes to homeschooling. I'm talking about that routine, that flow where our children know what the expectations of the day are. Because when they have that expectation, then, they can come into it. They understand. And this is going to include things like dedicated learning time, for breaks, other activities, and hopefully you put in there for play. Now, consistency is key. Children like consistency, as do many adults. And having that routine or that flow is going to help you be successful. But in all of this, do what works for you. You don't have to follow someone else's routine because it works for them and not necessarily for you. So, it could be something simple and easy that you are communicating with your children. I know my girls, every night. And what is tomorrow? Though I'm pretty sure that they could be reciting what it is. It could be Monday we are going to have some dedicated learning time. There's plenty of time for free play. We'll go for a family walk. In the afternoon, you have ballet. On Tuesdays, it's we're going to do our school stuff in the morning. You can have craft time. I'd love for you to, be outside and exercise. And then later on, we're going to go to co-op. It's a routine that is working. It is simple. I'm not assigning time, and even in that morning part when the girls have stuff, they know that they can do it whenever and in what order within that time frame. Continuous learning. Homeschooling truly should be about prioritizing that lifelong learning. And in that, we are seeking out opportunities to expand knowledge and skills. If we're just going to limit it to our learning comes from curriculum, we're sort of missing some of that point and we're missing out on that richness. We're missing out on the excitement. When we expand beyond a curriculum and we don't just view learning as that, but learning comes from life around you. Learning comes from every day, from the people that we meet, all of that. Then learning is a rich and rewarding experience and homeschooling is successful. Independence is encouraged. Children can be, and should be, empowered to take ownership of their learning. We can't just be spoon-feeding them all the time. We do this by encouraging that independence and that self-motivation to learn. It does take time to establish. It's not going to happen overnight. It will happen. But we start younger and, when they're little, and we build on it. And successful homeschoolers really are helping their children to develop that we, in being successful, will help our children to develop this. We're going to provide opportunities, and they're going to be in charge of their lessons. Yes, this is your independent work, or like how you want to do it. They're going to be in charge like through time management, or even deciding, what they want to learn. Maybe as you're discussing curriculum for the next school year, well, what do you want to learn? When they are developing this independence in homeschooling, it frees up our time. But more importantly, this really is a great skill for their future. Adaptability. Flexibility is key in homeschooling as circumstances may change unexpectedly. Basically, circumstances will change unexpectedly and often daily. When we are successful homeschoolers, we are adaptable and we're able to adjust our plans. We are able to accommodate these changes in a schedule or curriculum. Do you need a day off for mental health? Then you take it. Is there sickness? It's okay. Get the rest you need. Suddenly, family or friends are coming into town and you want to do something. Make those changes. If we are going to be rigid, and if we are going to we have to stick to the 180 days of a school calendar, and I know that some people feel well, no, I should match the school calendar. Guess what? You don't. When we're rigid to that, then we're going to miss out on some of that beauty of homeschooling. So be successful by being adaptable and flexible. Reflecting and adjusting. Reflection shouldn't just happen once a year. It should be a regular occurrence. And by this, reflection on your homeschooling. We're going to reflect on the progress, where our kids are at. Are we going to adjust what we need? When we do that, this is important for our successful homeschooling. We evaluate what is working well and what can be improved. And as we refine that, our children will grow. We will grow in all of this. We're really building this up. And this is one of the reasons why I have my girls do a national standardized test each year. Though, yes, I personally don't like them. I don't really like these tests, but I use it as an evaluation tool. I use the results to see where my girls might have some holes so that I can plan for the coming year. I actually did a video on how you can use standardized test results. I'll put that link below because when we don't come at it as a test, but as an evaluation tool for us to plan for the next year, it really is good. And as we reflect and as we adjust, things are only going to get better for us. Now, I used to sort of do a bigger sort of reflection, adjustment monthly. But as my girls have got older and there's that more confidence, I do sort of a quarterly reflection and adjustment now. Because I don't want to get to the end of the year and realize, I missed out on something important. Course corrections can happen quicker if you're regularly assessing, but it doesn't need to be monthly. If that doesn't work for you, make it quarterly. It got too much for me monthly because I then started really overthinking things. But that quarterly time and that yearly evaluation test, that to me is so helpful. We all have the ability to be highly successful homeschoolers. We can do it. These are just some habits. There's only 5 that we've covered because, of course, there's always more. But these ones are good, solid foundations for us to build up, to strengthen, because this is for our sake and also for our children. Well, thank you so much for watching today and being part of this learning life. Love to get these videos out to you. I love to connect with you. And if you want to help get these videos out, you can. And you can do that by becoming a champion. So check that out at patreon.com or at my website, LearningThis.Life.